Haystack Mountain, Travis Trebison,
I've heard of Haystack Mountain.
or John Condit.
Travis, wait, I do know Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
do know Travis.
He was the first one, and then John Condit was the second one.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm happy to be a part of it, man. I hope you keep doing it.
Yeah,
Do a bunch of people.
definitely. I'm trying to just fill up my calendar with people, just get as many as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I'll show you that when we're done, I'll show you the artwork that I have so far for it.
Sick.
But yeah, it's exciting.
That is exciting, dude.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nashville Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, and today Scotty Chapman is the guest. So,
Hello.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, dude, it's good to be here.
So, where are you from? You're from the Midwest, right?
Indiana.
Indiana.
Northern Indiana, just an hour north of Indianapolis.
Is that where you're from? Before you moved to Nashville?
Yeah. So I grew up there my whole life till I was about 20, and then I moved to Nashville. I've been here for 3 years.
Okay, cool. Did you grow up in a musical household? Or?
Not really. No, my parents didn't play music. My brother didn't play music. It was just kind of in my life through kind of school and just small things here. And I remember my parents got me a piano for Christmas when I was 8. That kind of introduced me to music a little bit. And after that, Guitar Hero came out. And
oh God, yeah.
after that, it introduced me to rock and roll. And I was like, dude, rock and roll is awesome. AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, this sounds amazing. This is great. Just the whole, it hit me right at 13, where you're kind of or 11 or so when you start to you want to not do what your parents tell you to do. You're kind of screwed, screw school, screw homework. You're kind of pissed off a little bit. So it just hit me right at that magical moment of life. And then once I figured out what rock and roll was, I just wanted to play guitar. That was it, really.
So you were 13 then?
Yeah.
So 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Who were some of your early influences?
AC/DC was my first band of love.
So that's Angus Young, right?
Yeah. His guitar solos were hit the spot. And then Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, to Zeppelin, to Jimi Hendrix and all that fun stuff. Yeah,
when I first met you, we talked about a Guns N' Roses show.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them at Bridgestone Arena, and you've seen them, back in Indiana? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At different occasions. They're Not in Their Lifetime tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw them 2017. So
yeah.
I don't know if that was the same tour. It might have been.
I've seen them 3 times.
Wow.
And they've just done laps around the world, pretty much.
Really? What's the best time you saw them? Or?
Then Hawaii, that was pretty fun, just because it was in Hawaii.
That was a couple years ago, or?
2 years ago.
Wow.
And I saw him in Cincinnati. And I swear I saw him again somehow. I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe I've only seen him twice. But
seeing him in Hawaii, man, that's sick.
That was fun.
It's on the beach or something?
Well, they have a stadium there.
Wow.
Right, on the island. The Aloha Stadium.
Oh,
it's pretty
wow.
cool. But, yeah. It's sick. But yeah, dude, Guns N' Roses, man. Hopefully they can tour again soon.
Sad Steven Adler's not in the band.
Yeah, I know.
The original 5 members.
I never really don't know why Izzy and Steven didn't want to get on board, but there's all kinds of business and
get on board with what?
Doing the tour with him.
Apparently, Steven got to jump in on a couple songs.
Yeah, I saw you played Mama Show a couple times.
But they didn't let him go on any tours or anything like that. Blue ball moment for him.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't. Did they not let him or something?
Yeah, they didn't let him.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, well, he got kicked out for doing too many. He was addicted to heroin.
Right. But he's better now. I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah. I don't know. They must have burned some bridges, I guess. So it was, which Guitar Hero?
I don't know. I remember when they first came out.
I played Guitar Hero 3, I think a lot, or 2. Whichever one had Nirvana heart-shaped box.
Yeah, I think that was on 2.
Yeah.
But I remember playing 1, 2, and 3, and after the 3rd, I advanced to real guitar. And I was like, let's play real guitar now.
Nice.
And so I started doing that.
How fast, or do you think it at all translated?
I mean, maybe some things, but no, that's 2 different ball games. Honestly, I'm worse at Guitar Hero than I am at actual guitar now.
Yeah.
You know, they don't correlate.
Yeah, it's just like a timing thing.
Yeah, it's a video game with buttons, but the overall, like, you know, this kind of motion's got to help a little bit, but I don't know. I struggled like any guitar player learning to play guitar, and I still struggle today, but...
Yeah, it's a hard instrument.
It is, dude.
I'll look at that.
I'm always missing notes.
Good
sometimes.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be so precise with your left hand.
Right.
I mean, like pinching it and holding it down.
Right.
Having feel for how hard you can press.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different instrument than drums.
Right. Drums is a whole other animal. I've been trying to play more drums lately, but I'm too late in my development to really get good.
No.
It would take too much time.
Nah, dude. Just a little...
I mean, like, I can play simple beats, but, like, for me to, like, learn how to do, like, triplet feels and, like, all kind of, like, to be, like, pro, I would have to invest so much time into it, and it's like, I don't have that time.
Dude, doing triplet fills, you could do that easily, but I think I understand what you mean.
You know what I mean, though? Like,
yeah.
I know how much work it takes to learn an instrument, and the amount of work it takes to, like, you know, to apply all that to drums is just like,
right,
I can't do that. Right
so,
now.
What are your main instruments?
Guitar and voice, essentially. So, since those are my strengths, I'm just gonna run with those, you know.
Right.
See where that takes me.
What guitar do you play right now?
A Strat.
Okay.
That's my main pickup. Yeah.
Okay. You're not a Les Paul.
I like the Les Paul sound. They're too heavy though. Yeah.
It's chunky. Like it's got the very meaty tone.
I use the Les Paul like recording because I need the sound, but playing live is just like I don't know. I've gotten comfortable with the Strat, how it feels, and everything. So.
Yeah. How long have you had that guitar?
For like 4 years, 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe longer. I don't know.
What was your first guitar?
A Strat, like a Mexican Strat.
Okay.
It's like one of those like cheap Affinity models.
What was one of your first pedals? Do you use pedals a lot in your playing?
Yeah, I use pedals. I can't remember what the first one was. It's probably just some cheap distortion. But I use this thing called a Soul Driver. I found pretty good luck with that one.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Your band that you mainly focus on is the Garden of Eden, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did you start that band?
The first time I played a show with like a formation of that band and music was in college. So I guess when I was 18.
And you went to college in Indiana?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
IU or whatever?
I went to a small school called Ball State.
Ball State?
Yeah.
Like BALL?
Mm-hmm. Ball.
Wow.
Ball. You know the mason jars? Like the ball mason jars?
I think so, maybe.
The glass mason jars that everyone has?
Yeah.
The people who started that university.
Huh.
So it's like that's the business that like basically launched a college.
Wow.
That's where it's all from. But yeah, I just
Is
went
it
there.
a small town?
All of Indiana is a small town. Except Indy. Even Indy's small for a city.
I played in Bloomington.
Bloomington's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Bloomington. That's probably my favorite part of Indiana was probably Bloomington. But yeah, the first formation was when I was 18, going to school there. And then I moved to Nashville. Because the Garden of Eden lineup is constantly changing.
Right.
It's just I'm like the one key factor of it, the songwriter, the singer, and everything, marketer, booker, business guy, the whole thing.
Band leader.
But the bassist and drummer and whoever else wants to join is just constantly revolving all the time. So this is how it moves forward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're carrying the torch.
Right. Someone's got to.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best bands in the world, it's like one person's like the...
It's usually most bands. I mean, some bands come together and they're like, all right, let's just put all of our eggs in this and like let's work together. You take booking, I'll take like promoting. You do this business. We'll do these two write songs together and kind of stuff like that.
That's like the perfect band.
Yeah,
like...
that helps out a lot when you have that like setup. Some bands find that, it's really really great. But
I think you have to tap into everyone's like main reason for playing, and then like everyone just kind of like put their 2 cents forward and everyone gets behind that one dream and then go all in.
Right.
But if everyone's like indifferent, like doing it for different reasons or whatever that like go against, it's kind of hard to have one consensus as a band.
Right.
And then it kind of falls apart. Or it works out great because some bands with a lot of tension, fighting and whatnot, makes the music even more like
it's true
explosive, I guess.
Yeah, the tension and just like really like personal relationships, people that go way back, or a bunch bunch of shit's happened, you know.
Yeah.
And that all that emotion comes out and writes great songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a marriage you plan to go into like chaotic times with.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then for the long haul. So I was listening to the Catch Me If You Can EP, and I was like, when I was listening to Ride On My Child, I was like getting major Little Wing vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
I was
love
like,
Little Wing.
yeah, I was like really feeling the Jimi Hendrix kind of vibe in there.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So did you record that in Nashville?
I actually recorded that in Kokomo, Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little studio called Whisper Studios.
Did you ever live there in Kokomo?
No.
But that's where everyone else...
I lived in West Lafayette. And then like all the other dudes in Nashville, they're all from Kokomo.
Okay.
But we all met here.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have school bands like in high school or anything?
Not really, no.
You didn't play like in the pep band or...
Dude, I wanted to play in the pep band, but they wouldn't let me because I didn't start on like trumpet or like our school was set up where like you had to like play saxophone for like 2 years and then you could play guitar in the pep band. But since I had never played saxophone for like 2 years, I couldn't play guitar. So I was kind of like, I was upset. I remember being upset about that. Because that's like silly, you know? But, so I wasn't able to do that. And there's no, like, in my small school, there was no rock fans, bassists. I found like one dude and then this other dude, and we like played like a backyard, like high school, like birthday party. And then we played like another thing, and that was about it. But nothing like consistent. That was fun, you know. Or like had like something cool to it.
What was the size of the school?
So like each class was like 150 average. So like for 4 years, the whole high school was like 500 or 600 kids.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like smaller.
So you learned who's the musician pretty fast.
Right. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of musicians like that were into rock music and would like play like drums and like bass and stuff, and like it's very slim pickings, you know. So nothing really like as far as high school bands generated.
And so you moved, did you say you moved to Nashville 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you've bounced around from living in your van to a house to...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just kind of crashing around. The artist lifestyle, essentially.
The artist lifestyle?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
How do you feel about that, or...
About the van life?
Yeah, or the artist lifestyle is...
I mean, I feel good about it. I don't know. What do you mean?
How you got into the van life and moving around.
Well, I mean, when I moved to Nashville, I didn't have like a job or a place or like anything lined up. I didn't know anybody, so I just figured it'd be less stressful if I didn't have to worry about rent, and I could just kind of like focus on small tasks, like gaining enough money to like pay for gas or food. And then I just figured out how to like live that lifestyle. And it's just a little easier, I think, honestly. Even if it sounds harder, it's not having a rent payment is like just a weight off your shoulders, essentially. I can have more free time to do other things.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can just drive essentially your home wherever,
mm-hmm.
and then just set up shop.
And the freedom's nice too.
Yeah.
And like traveling and playing gigs and stuff makes it easier.
Yeah.
You know, makes it easier to travel because if you got rent to pay for and you got a gig that's like 3 hours away but only pays like $100 or $200, it's not really like in your best interest to go take that gig because then you got to pay rent. But if you live in a van, you just take it. You know.
That's a very good
$60
point.
in the tank, and then you can take more gigs basically.
You
Your opportunities open up.
Become more mobile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I like about it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever use like Facebook groups or anything to like find people in different cities or
like van life for people
or just musicians?
Oh,
like
musicians.
Whenever you go traveling, do you like?
Well, I haven't traveled just yet in it, but I mean, I use like the YEP community, if that's what you're asking. Like
What is it?
the YEP Nashville
Oh,
community,
okay.
like Young Entertainment Professionals, like
Oh,
all
yeah.
those little groups on Facebook. Like I use those all the time to like see what's going on or see if someone wants to hang out or like link up or whatever.
Have you played in any parks around here?
Parks?
Yeah, like just brought your guitar.
Oh, like and just like played at the park?
Yeah,
I don't think I've done that. No.
because you've played downtown quite a few times, right?
Yeah, I've played at Broadway, relatively, but I haven't played in any parks. No.
How long have you been playing at Broadway?
Well, I don't anymore because the pandemic slowed everything down.
Right.
But when did it start? It was like May or June of a year ago, 2019, essentially. In the summer 2019, I started playing down there, like weekly. Then I played before then. I'm just kind of here and there. I find gigs in there. Nothing's like consistent, but like the past like 2 years.
Would you study in college at Ball State or Ball University?
Yeah, Ball State. I studied jazz guitar and just guitar, classical guitar, music. Had like classes from like choir to like. I went into like audio engineering, but I didn't want to do that. Once I got in there, I realized that wasn't for me. So
Yeah.
I just focused on learning guitar, learning how to read music, learning how to sing, learning how to write music, just all things music. Yeah, I just tried to learn as much as possible.
And I've seen some of your paintings. You also paint?
Yeah, I just started painting recently. That's been fun.
Yeah. A little hobby.
Yeah, something to do. Something else to sell to the people who enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Right.
A little unique piece of artwork for some fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to I used to do a lot of pottery and do stuff on the wheel. And make bowls and stuff. I made this thing. Made those little...
Yeah, dude, I love stuff like this. It makes like an ashtray.
This is like a little pinch pot and there's like melted glass in it. But I also made those. It's like a lantern. I find that really amazing. Just
yeah, working with clay and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And then putting it in the kiln.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Any other hobbies?
Yeah, like painting's one of them. Gardening. I like hanging out with my snake.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your snakes.
Yeah, I got one now, unfortunately.
Oh really?
Yeah, I lost the other two, so sad thing. But I got one good one.
Did they just like escape the cage?
One did, and then one, yeah, both did basically.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's alright. It happens sometimes.
And that was bonsai and then
Cashmere.
cashmere.
Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you have left?
Arrow.
Arrow?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna take him on the road trip with me in the van, so it should be fun.
What kind of snake is it?
He's a ball python.
Oh, that's cool. I guess he doesn't eat much, or...
Then he eats little mice like every once in a while. Yeah.
So it's super easy to maintain him.
Yeah, really easy. Yeah, snakes are super easy to take care of. Plus they're fun too.
That cat wasn't yours, was it?
No, it's Kiara's cat.
What was the cat's name again?
Jorah.
Jorah. Yeah. It seemed like there were a lot of pets in that house. Wasn't there a turtle as well, or is it just?
No, just snakes and cat.
Snakes and
just
cat.
Just a snake and a cat. Yeah.
So have you ever taught any guitar lessons, or?
Not consistently, but like a little bit. I remember teaching like a little kid when I was in high school, and I taught this dude when I was in college, and that was about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of the East Nashville music scene as opposed to like downtown? And do you like playing over here more, or do you like?
Yeah, I like playing in the East. The scene is really cool, and all the people are really cool. It's like it's got a cool indie rock vibe. And I mean, downtown's very more music and like more country and Broadway kind of vibes. But yeah, East Nashville is really cool.
Where's your like favorite place to play in East Nashville? Would you like some water?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, water would be cool. The East Room's pretty cool. I'd say the East Room is my favorite spot to play. It's always a good time in there.
Yeah, that's a big place for East Nashville. The 5 spot and then the East Room's like good balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play at Spewfest?
No, I didn't, but I went. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember.
Spewfest is cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, I miss days like that.
Rambunctious, just walking around, just like bouncing around different musical stages.
All kinds of cool bands playing, all kinds of cool friends to meet.
I met a lot of people that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like in passing, everyone's just like open, like, hey, what's going on?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the Cobras are a cool spot to hang out too.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, neither have I. Have you ever played there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A few times.
I like that stage.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, do you have any like recordings for Garden of Eden that you are gonna release? Because I remember like I think this was like a year ago. You were telling me about a song with like a wizard by a fire.
Oh yeah, The Tale of Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that song's coming out. So I got a new album coming out this summer called Safari. That's still being mixed and mastered right now, but it's all the tracking's done and it sounds pretty good.
Awesome. Where'd you record that at?
I recorded half of it at SAE and the other half at Eastside Manor here in East Nashville. Yeah.
Who'd you have play on it, or did you play like all the instruments?
I had like basically like the whole, like not the whole scene, but like different members from different bands in town come and play on it. So every song has like a different lineup of players.
Wow.
So like Dustin played on it, and Chris, my buddy Chris, Ricky Dover played on it, and Dixie played on it, Josh Norfleet, like just basically everyone kind of, it was like a big community collaborative project, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
When is that coming out?
Probably in May or something like that.
Okay, cool. I haven't really, many other bands been releasing albums here in East Nashville, so it's like, it'd be cool to have a place to go to find all that.
Yeah, I know the Blam Blams just released something like a few months ago, and I don't really know. Some people are releasing singles. The Radcoats released something. I think it was just a song. Weird Sisters just released a song, but it's really hard to keep updated without like going to shows is like how I like feel the vibe of what's going on, like what band's hot, like what song is cool, you know. Right now, lately, it's just been kind of like what's going on social media, rather than like what's going on in the world face to face. So that's kind of changed the dynamic of things, definitely, of how like we're all interacting.
Your way of like traveling in your van is like the closest thing you get to being able to be in a different environment, meeting new people. Is like right now, where are you gonna go? The grocery store?
Right. Yeah. Right. All the places that like the Five Spot is still not doing shows, and like a lot of places. I like this Five Spot. I always like playing there too.
Same here. That's like, I think that's my favorite place in East Nashville to play.
Yeah, with all those places still being shut down right now, it's like the whole dynamic of the scene has kind of changed. It's been hard to stay in contact with people that I've usually see like on a weekly basis. So that's changed a lot of things, but I'm sure like a lot of people out there are releasing music right now, because right now is the best time to start just record. I feel like everyone's just in their home, in their studio recording.
Yeah, this is definitely the best time to be like working on yourself or material or whatever you want to release. Like,
yeah.
Because I mean, you don't. There's no FOMO. You know what I mean?
Right, there isn't. Yeah.
That's what I like about.
There's no shows you're missing out on, or shows you're like, missing out on picking.
I should have gone there. Yeah, there's no stress. Like I need to be booking shows, play out like up and down the East Coast. We were gonna play last year in May and try and go up north, but obviously that never happened. I really wanted to play in like Brooklyn, New York.
That would have been cool, man. Hopefully someday soon we'll all be able to do that again.
It'd be cool if Nashville created like an outdoor stage with like a field that people could like host shows at.
They have Ascend.
Yeah, but that's huge. I'm talking.
Like a smaller indie. Like,
yeah, maybe smaller indie.
They have. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they could. I don't know. Everyone's just so like still so freaked out and scared about everything going on. It's just like no one really knows what to do.
Yeah.
Because if you do something, a bunch of people might get upset, and if you don't, some people might get upset. It's just like whatever you do is a set up group of people nowadays. So
yeah, I know.
Everyone's just kind of waiting for some person, I don't know who, or some organization to say it's safe and it's okay to go outside and be with your friends again. Which I don't know what that means, but we're just sitting here around waiting for music at least. Everything else is moving forward. It seems like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like sports is happening, and to an extent, but most things have like allowed to proceed. But music is like the DIY indie music scene is just still like shut off still. So I think they're always waiting for everything to be more clear. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like meeting like this is like the best way that, like I said, that I've been able to network and find out more about people that I don't really, haven't talked to in a while,
Right, kind of hear what everybody's doing.
Yeah, and what's kind of like been your routine in the past couple months, like?
Oh, I haven't really had a routine in the past couple months because my life's been kind of everywhere. because I went to Maui, went home, moved out of my house. Now I'm back in my van. But as far as routine, I've been trying to like read more and exercise more. Like wake up each day, read, exercise, or exercise and read, and then go about my day. If you can call that a routine, it's best.
That's a great routine.
Yeah, and then either like my day consists of booking or trying to like coordinate the next steps for the album of like talking to my mixer, or I haven't been able to paint really lately, but really just focusing on booking and planning for the road trip tour is essentially the only thing I'm working on right now.
Awesome. When did you say the road trip tour is going to be?
I leave March 12th, and I got
soon.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Start heading south. Florida's open is what I hear, so I'm just gonna go down there and work so I can make some money doing what I love.
Nice.
And see where that takes me. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no plan for how long you're going to go down there for?
Yeah, I mean, I have dates booked, but it's all kind of happening as it's happening, kind of the situation. I've never really done something like this, so I'm just gonna kind of see what happens. And if I get stuck, I'll just go, I don't know, just figure it out.
Yeah. You can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can go anywhere. I just gotta make sure I book enough gigs to at least like make enough money to survive and eat. So.
And just keep going, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What books have you been reading?
Some business books. There's this book called Work Smart Business. There's another book on this. It was what was it called? It was kind of like a mental health, like psychology book, and just like kind of like ways to approach life to reach your potential and like find success in what you really want to do. Kind of like books like that.
Sick.
Yeah.
Those are my type of books.
Yeah. I went to McKay's and they have like a whole book section. I was like, man, I love honestly like going books and stuff.
Same here.
Because you can just read anything.
Yeah.
And
just
knowledge,
download it into your brain.
Exactly. And every time I read something, it's just like I learn something new, or I learn how to approach something differently than I did before. So.
Yeah. What books have you read in the past that you like?
Not a lot. I mean, I read some books on like Buddhism and like the Zen Buddhism meditation, kind of like spiritual philosophy books for like a short period, and then I read Slash's biography. Other than that, that's about it.
Ooh,
I'm not much of a reader.
Slash's biography?
Yeah, or autobiography.
What did you like about that?
Everything. That book is awesome. I love Slash.
Yeah.
He's cool, dude.
What was he, at one point he was drinking like half a gallon of Jack Daniels a day.
Yeah, it got pretty surreal for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives a pretty crazy life. It's pretty interesting.
And he doesn't look too bad now.
No, he's still standing. So.
Yeah, still stands.
He still plays guitar, so I mean, whatever he did something right.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You said you're reading what was this? Is it like a subconscious book?
No.
Like psychology?
No, it just kind of like talks about mindsets. Just something that's like kind of like a mind over matter book, but like it just talks about different mindsets that people have, and there's mindsets that like generate success and growth and being able to achieve your dreams and your goals and stuff, and mindsets to just like kind of settle or like take the easy route, or like just kind of look at the world in certain ways. And it makes sense because there's people who seek their dreams and want to do shit and they actually do it, and it separates people who do that and people who don't. Some people don't, and I just want to be someone who does, and learn as much as I can so I can accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Definitely. And it's always like that kind of person is foreign to the other type of person. Like the other person is like, this guy wants to do great things. That's
Mm-hmm.
weird. That's like not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But then you coming after them, it's like, you're like, but I don't understand what y'all do either. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like two different types of people, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I don't think they'll ever understand each other. I mean, they might I understand why you do this, but I couldn't live with myself doing that,
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's cool. So what, like, have you made any, like, written down any new values or principles, or like...
Yeah, I mean, like, just kind of like keep one thing it talks about is, or one thing I learned is like, when you're like faced in like, with like a failure, or like looking at failure differently. Like, you can't fail if you just try to do it, and then if it doesn't go right, rather than just being so upset that you failed, just be excited about learning a way to do it a new way. and then you're going to continue learning, and you're going to continue learning, and then you're eventually just get to a point where like you know exactly how to do this one thing you're trying to accomplish. And so that's one thing I've learned about within the book. Yeah.
The faster you fail, the faster you learn.
Yeah, and just kind of like looking at that differently, you know, and not getting too discouraged about something. Because like when things aren't going right, just by pressing forward and being persistent and patient, it'll eventually just work out.
Right.
You know, but a lot of people get to the point of where it's like shit gets real, shit gets hard, and it's hard, and they like don't. There's a story. You ever heard of it? It's a real story. A dude back in the 1800s who was like during the gold rush, he was going out west, dig for gold and mine for gold, and they mined and they mined and they mined and they mined and they mined, and they got to a point where like it was like too hard, like the rock was too hard, I don't know, something like the rock was too hard and they couldn't dig anymore and they couldn't figure out how to get down there or whatever, and they gave up and they went home back to like the East Coast or something, and then some other miner came to that same exact spot and dug a little deeper, like 3 inches, and found a huge gold mine. So it's just kind of like it was like called the 3-inch rule or something. Like you can be so close to what you want and your dreams to accomplish, and then just by like saying like we can't do this, that's the minute. If you just would have kept persisting and being patient and just going and going and going, it's right around the corner.
Right. You know, if you give up, you never know how close you were to breaking through.
Exactly. So that's one thing I've learned, and I'm still reading through it. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's a great thing to learn. Nice. So have you like any other like phrases or like things you've read that you're like, yeah, that's makes great sense?
Yeah, there's one. Let me look it up. It was so impactful I had to read it down.
Nice. I love sayings like that.
Yeah, so like this thing, it says, every human who reaches the age of understanding the purpose of money wishes for it. Wishing will not bring riches, but desiring riches, with a state of mind that becomes an obsession. Then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches, and backing those plans with persistence, which does not recognize failure. That'll bring you riches and what you want.
Wow. Who said that?
I don't know. It's the author who wrote like Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, that's who wrote that.
Dude, I love that book.
Yeah, it's a good book.
I love self-help books. I'm like, it's been a while since I've read any fiction. I usually just read biographical information, business, finance, whatever, self-help, nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
You're reading people's that are like, their mindset is like on the page, and you're just reading it and absorbing like, okay, now I understand how this thought process will give me this. Mm-hmm. Like you said, what you were learning in that book you're reading.
Right. Yeah, I like books like that. It's good.
Have you ever read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People?
No, but I think I've heard about that. Habits are everything, dude.
Yeah, habits.
Start generating habits. Simple things like just making your bed each day. You know, it's a habit. You just do that. You're keeping your house clean. It affects the mind in a certain way. It really does. So, but, yeah.
That's good. They're little triggers. Like, I put my house in order. I control chaos. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm creating change. Because I put my sheets and my bedding back. I did that. It's like, that's just a small example of greater things that I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like it has like a subconscious effect on the mind, I think.
Heck yeah. Do you ever listen to or read any Jordan Peterson?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, he's all about that. I mean, growing up, my grandfather used to always like, if I ever said I couldn't do something or I can't, if I said I can't, he'd be like, can't. That's not a word that you have in your dictionary.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like that just like stuck with me, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, and you can do anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was like, you gotta wanna. That was like his main. He even had coins that said, you gotta wanna. You'd give them to. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I see like music videos, then like watching like Guns N' Roses and stuff, like that kind of like excites you.
Yeah, definitely. Watching music videos and watching like bands play live, it's definitely inspiring, for sure. But I don't know. It's like we were watching Breaking Bad last night. It's about the only movie thing I got going on, really.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in forever.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. Nice. Well, do you want to like add anything about music you have coming out, or like where people can find you?
Yeah. You can find me on social media at the Garden of Eden. That's the name of my art project, and we have like an Etsy up there, and I'll be hitting the road in March, heading down to Florida, and just living in my van, playing music as much as I can. You can stay in contact with me there. I also have YouTube coming up, so it's called Scotty Chapman YouTube.
Okay.
Or the Garden of Eden. You can find on YouTube, and I'll be like basically doing like daily YouTube videos of like my van life story, essentially, so you kind of people can keep up with what's going on in my life on the road.
Awesome.
It'll be kind of fun to watch, really.
It will be.
Yeah.
So, and you plan to go to Florida and then like stay there for a while, then what, like go north, or?
I have no clue. It depends on the laws. Because if there's gigs aren't available,
right,
if people aren't going out.
You got to be malleable.
Yeah. So it really just depends on what we do with coronavirus. I mean, if it doesn't open, then if Florida's the only place that's open, I'll just stay on there and play. If things open, I'll probably go west and north and all around.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, if you ever come back this way, if you go to Chattanooga, the Walnut Street Bridge, it's a great place to busk and play live. Yeah.
Cool. I'll probably stop there on the way down because I'm hitting Atlanta first. So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look up Walnut Street Bridge. It's the middle of like downtown. It's a walking bridge.
Right.
And so you can get a lot of traffic, just passerbys. Some people will stick around, and it's great.
Cool. Hell yeah. Those are the spots I'm looking for.
That's what I look for. Like in springtime, I'll go down to Chattanooga and bring my little cocktail drum set up there with my friend Kellen, who plays bass, and it'll just be a duo and play for 2 hours, and it's like we're just jamming,
Hell
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And like whatever happens, and these people are just gonna
stop and listen for
check it out, you
yeah,
know?
definitely.
Or they're not.
Right.
Either way, we're still there.
Right.
Cool. Well, I want to ask one more thing. What is like the main thing you've learned living in Nashville?
Oh, man, that's a good question. What have I learned being here? Many things. Let me think of the best one. Just to be yourself, really. It's like as an artist, just be yourself. And there's so many things going on here, and you see so many people like see what's going on and like try to be that or add a little bit of this and that. But just being yourself and true to what you do musically.
Yeah. Don't try to get shiny object syndrome. Everyone's doing something cool.
Yeah,
I
just
gotta
don't
do
be
this,
worried
gotta
about
do
what other
that.
people are doing. Just kind of focus on your own game and do that. That's what's kind of like.
There can only be one of you.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to tell you, I really liked Electric Groove.
Oh hell yeah.
That live song, that was probably my favorite of your songs.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I like that. The recorded version of that sounds very, very good.
The live version.
No, the recorded version that's about to come out.
Oh, okay, sick.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, because I love that live.
Yeah, the Eastern live thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, I listened to that last night. Of all those, I was listening out to my car because I was like,
Hell yeah. Dude.
listen to it, you know.
Hell yeah.
It was fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I was like, it's a live show. Crowd.
Right.
You know, I get to yell too.
Right.
All right, dude. Well, look forward to jamming with you or sometime.
Yeah, dude.
Something soon.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.